Welcome back, everybody. My name is Lexi Booth. I am your co-host, and I have your host.
Stevan Booth, here with Ghost Stories Told from the South.
Okay, I really hoped that you guys enjoyed last week's episode.
I thought that was pretty good.
I really liked it. I'm really enjoying this.
This is pretty fun. I like
love
doing the
it.
research on it and finding out all that stuff. It's pretty cool, but we got some good stuff today planned out for you.
Yeah.
We got, we're going to talk, I got my stories about the hitchhiker ghost or something on 281. And Lexi's got the Tennessee State Prison. Ooh.
Mhm.
And she's got
The Windsor Hotel.
Windsor Hotel. Where's that?
We'll get to that when we get to it.
Oh, yeah, well. And then my second story is the Tooth Fairy.
We only have 4 today.
Yeah.
Normally we
But
have
the
like
Tooth
more.
Fairy, that one's kind of leaves you thinking. I'm not saying it's real, but
Okay.
so I guess we'll get started with and another thing, guys, when you're listening though, just keep listening, keep downloading, and keep hitting the subscribe button, and we're going to eventually start recording a lot and get a lot built up for you and get more
Professional.
more stuff in our library.
yeah. That's what you mean.
More stuff in our library. Yeah.
Oh, and we do have an email. It
Oh,
is
yes.
Ghost Stories Told from the South, and it is it's just like the podcast name.
At Gmail, right?
At gmail.com.
Yes.
So just send us any requests that you have to talk about, or like your experiences, or any haunted places around you
Yes,
that we could like
anything.
research about, or anything, or
if
if you
y'all-
have anything on like how the sound sounds, or anything that you think
Just
we
let
can
us
do
know.
to improve it, or just whatever, just email us and
We'll do it.
So okay, I think
Tennessee State
I'm gonna get
Prison
started on the Tennessee State
was
Prison.
started back in 1785.
Shut up. No, it wasn't.
I'm gonna start
Okay.
doing it like this.
Okay, so on this one, I have a lot of history, but I do not have a lot of like ghost stories. I have just like a handful, a very small handful, and there's a long history, so bear with me. Okay, so the Tennessee State Prison is located in Nashville, Tennessee, and it is known for the electric chair. But they used that back then.
That's kind of shocking. Get it?
It's now abandoned, so it's just sitting there, slowly decaying. And whenever it was a prison, it was known for the overcrowding and the riots and the outbreaks, which we will also get to that because this prison was not very well.
Wasn't a very nice prison at all. It
No.
sounds like.
Especially since it was a state prison.
Oh, man.
It was a terrible kept prison.
Well, a lot of them back then were. I mean, they weren't the best back in the day.
Yeah, especially this one. Like I said, there's so many outbreaks and riots and overcrowding, and
Oh my God, yeah.
it's a lot. Okay, so whenever they started to build the prison, they wanted to make it look like a penitentiary that was in Auburn, New York. So they based the look off of that penitentiary.
That penitentiary, you mean? You said penitentiary.
Whatever.
We did insane asylums last week.
Okay.
Prisons this week.
They based it off the penitentiary. So they wanted.
I
They
wonder
wanted
what
to look
that
the
big
same.
one up there in Jersey is. The location sounds familiar, but
And it contained 800 cells.
that's
And-
a lot of freaking people.
Oh, that's not even close to what they were holding.
You got
It
that.
contained it contained 800 cells, and there was only like one bed in each, so it only 800 people was designed to
man.
stay there.
And then they probably started, when they got overpopulated, probably started double stacking them, didn't they?
Yeah, it was
So
really
it went from
overcrowded.
one to a cell when it was made for one for a cell, and it went from two to a cell, and it wasn't made for
2, 3. It was bad. And there was a couple other small buildings kind of with it, because it was huge. There was administrative buildings.
Well, yeah, you get your
and-
front offices and all that stuff.
Yeah. And then there was a warehouse, And the
Hospital.
offices kind of right there. Just kind of like three kind of things.
Yeah.
And there was also like built factories in the prison walls, like kind of, I don't really know how to explain, but like,
Huh. Built factories.
yeah, there was like factories like within the prison.
Yeah. Oh, well,
So
that
that
makes
made it
sense because, you know,
easier.
some of them would make their own bread or make
Yeah.
stuff in the
It was
wood
a lot.
shop
It was
or metal
like
shops.
the asylums that we talked about and stuff.
Yeah.
Like within the past few weeks, this was kind of like the old. It was kind of like a self, making
Yeah.
prison. And then the walls of the prison were 20 feet high and 3 feet thick, and they were made of rock.
I don't think they wanted them to go anywhere.
Yeah, but people still escaped. And the original plan, it never did say if it had it, but the original plan had a farm.
Oh.
Like, so, but it never did, like, confirm it.
Well, there's
if
a
it
lot
did
of
or not.
places in the South that were like that.
Yeah, like a lot of the asylums did have it. So, and the prisoners, because they're ranged from like really young to really old, and so they had to keep them like by age because they didn't want.
Yeah,
because
because back then they didn't do the juvie thing. You went in the big boy prison.
Yeah, they just had to divide you up by age. And then the prison was built by a guy named Elliot, and he used $500,000 or more to build the prison, which in today's world is $12 million.
Wow, that's a big. That's a lot of money for a prison.
Yeah, it is. And the prison was finally done and opened on February 12th, 1898.
Wow,
So yeah, it's been there for a while.
it's been a while.
And immediately the day they opened it, they admitted 1,400 prisoners.
Wow,
So the first day already overcrowded.
dang. Built it for 800 in the first day. Well, we got 1,000.
Yeah. And over the years, like the old buildings, I guess they're around it and stuff, they destroyed those and they rebuilt them for, more room because the prison wasn't built for
Jeez.
a lot. And the prisoners, they had them do most of the construction and labor and stuff to, like, pay back what they did. And also they needed help paying back all the fees.
Yeah.
all the $12 million.
That's a lot
they
of
owed.
cash, man.
Yeah. And then within, 2 years of it opening, the prisoners would work at least 16 hours, and they were, fed, nothing. They were barely fed.
Wow.
And then also back then there was no air conditioning and heat and stuff like that. So it was literally rock and a bucket
Yeah.
to pee in and poop in and stuff like that. So they were in unheated.
Well, yeah,
and
because back then they didn't really have running water in places.
mm-hmm.
So you had to piss and poop in the bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were in an unventilated, unheated, or you know what I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't circulated and stuff, and they were in the sleeping area, and so it wasn't ideal, but it was a prison also. So, and in 1902, a group of prisoners blew out the end of one of the prison wings.
Wow. How the hell they do that? They had to get some dynamite or something.
Well, and it was overcrowded, and it was kind of understaffed, like the asylums. So they just weren't paying attention, I guess, and they got a hold of something, and they just blew it.
Wow, that's ballsy.
Yeah.
I'll get through that wall. Watch it. I ain't gonna climb over it. I'm gonna blow a hole in it.
I know. So they killed one of the inmates, during that process, and 2 escaped, and they were never captured.
Wow.
I don't know what happened to the inmates that,
Yeah.
blew it up.
That's crazy.
And then, and at another time, a certain group of people can gain control of the White Wing, and they held that captive for 8 hours.
The white. Oh my God.
Yeah, they called it the White Wing, and never. I'm guessing because it was specific in the name.
Yeah, it was white and it was in the wing.
I don't want to point out anything and make anybody mad, so I'm not gonna. And then in 1907, several convicts gained control of a switch machine, and they ran it through the gate of the prison.
Wow.
So within 20 years of this opening, they have accidents
Jesus.
left and right. And then there was a mass escape in 1939. I almost said
Wow.
1990. That's like not even close. um, and during they had a lot of mass fires, like all the time. And during that, one of the mass fires destroyed the dining room they had. And they also had a lot of riots between 1975 and 1985. So,
Wow.
and I
That
didn't.
don't surprise me though. With that many people, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
And
it
then being
was.
understaffed like that, jeez.
Yeah, it was a bit crazy, and I didn't know this, but there was a lot of films, or there was like a good handful of films that were filmed there, and Green Mile was filmed there.
Hmm. Oh, that's the one with the big old
Hmm.
muscly guy.
Um, Ernest Goes to
Yeah, that's
Jail was
Ernest
filmed
Goes to
there.
Jail. Oh my God.
The Last Castle was filmed there, and Against the Wall. And then they also had like a recent like celebrity paranormal project there that was filmed. It didn't
Yeah.
say like who or what it was, but like, and it's been abandoned since 1992. So it was open for a while.
Yeah, it was open for a good while. It sounds like.
Hmm. And people say that the inside looks like something out of like a horror movie.
Yeah, part of the paint's peeling and stuff
Yeah,
like
they
that because
said
no
it
one's
looks.
keeping up with it.
Yeah, they said it looks scary.
It's
And
coming to get you.
well, because like the metal bars are like just rusting, and the concrete's been like just decaying and rumbling and stuff, and the electrical chair is still there. It's isolated in a single room, and it's like it looks really it looks terrible. So you're no longer you used to when it first closed and was abandoned, but you're not allowed to go in there anymore, mainly because it's not safe anymore.
Yeah, probably started going to crap.
But I guess recent owners bought it. I guess either it might have been the state. It didn't really say who, but I guess like the state or somebody bought it, and people like guard it, like watch over it to
Oh
make
my
sure no one
God.
trespasses. And tourists would come to the prison when they were able to, and they would explore it and stuff. So
That's cool. I bet you they
That's-
had a lot of experiences.
yeah, so that's kind of the history, like all the history.
Yeah.
So some of the ghost stuff that I found, just like I said, it's not a lot. Like I can't really find any stories or anything.
Yeah.
But like I found some of the stuff that kind of happens when you go in there, or used to be able to go in there. Um, People hear strange noises, and like people like clanging on the cells, and the cell doors open and shut like and slam all by themselves. And you can hear the screamings, and they believe the screams are from people that were getting executed in the chair
Oh,
of them
God.
dying and stuff.
Might have been.
And the footsteps and echoes, and like there's certain cold spots, and then apparitions.
Well, heck, you got to think too all the murders that happened because they was so understaffed and they couldn't be watching them 24/7.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. There wasn't a lot of like ghost stuff, but like I said, there was a lot of history, and like with
Yeah.
all that and all the escapes and the fires and
Well,
all that, you
gosh,
can
I mean,
only
no
imagine.
wonder. Oh man, I bet you that place would be fun to go investigate.
Well,
Bet you they always
they
found
never-
some cool stuff.
Yeah, and they never even said who like all died there, because it was a state prison.
Oh God,
That's
I
not
bet you-
counting how
yeah.
old everybody was, or this or that, or like you said, murders that have happened in
Yeah.
there or that. So like you never know
Man,
truly what happened.
creepy place, man.
Yeah.
I know.
I did really like that one though. I just didn't like that I can't really find any
I
ghost
know.
stuff on it.
I found that out too. I can find a lot of history, but there's not a whole lot of ghost stories, and there probably are, but no one's probably been there in freaking years.
Yeah, because it was abandoned in 1992, but
Yeah.
especially since you can't trespass now, like, so
So,
unless you're
yeah.
probably like Ghost Adventures or
Yeah.
something.
Well, I've got one called the Candy Lady. You remember that movie, The Tooth Fairy?
Mhm.
It's kind of like that, but that's what's crazy about that story. It's just I mean, I'm not gonna ruin anything, but it's just you don't know if it's really real or not. Well, in Ellis County, in Terrell, Texas, in the early 1900s, the legend is that the Candy Lady, Carla Grace, would leave candy on the windowsills for the kids every night. Well, then many of the kids went missing after she started doing that. And then some of the kids that didn't leave yet were saying that after they got candy for a while, then they'd get candy, but the wrappers would have messages written on them. Yeah, and the kids didn't tell them what they said. the
Ugh.
kids just started disappearing. Well, the town held that girl responsible for it, Clara Crane. I'm sorry, can't read my own handwriting. Yeah, it's Clara Crane, and they held her responsible for it. She killed her. Oh yeah, because she killed her husband. I forgot about that. She killed her husband with poison in some caramel candy because their daughter died like a year before he died.
And that's why
And
we check kids'
she-
Halloween candy.
Well, she blamed him for her dying. So that was her way of
Did
getting
it say what happened?
No, it didn't say what happened to the girl. It just said that she blamed, her husband.
And
Yeah.
then killed him.
Yeah. Well, if y'all have ever seen the movie,
It reminds me of like Candyman.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, if you ever seen that movie, the Tooth Fairy, the scary one, this is kind of like what it's based on. Or that movie's based on, kind of. Except she ain't taking your teeth.
She's taking your kids.
Yeah. Anyways, they held her responsible for it because, she killed her husband. Like I say, she blamed him for the daughter dying. And then, I told you that. Oh, yeah. And then the adults said they sometimes would find some of the kids with their teeth rotten and colorful. Their teeth would be rotting and they'd be in colorful wrappers. Ain't that creepy?
Yeah, that is creepy.
And then, let's see. Oh. And two, like I said, they'd find rotting teeth in the wrappers. Well, then sometimes they'd find the bodies stabbed to death with their pocket full of candy too. Ain't that creepy? But when she got convicted of killing her husband, she got sent to an insane asylum in North Texas, and she stayed there till, let's see. I thought I wrote that down. I don't guess I did. But anyways, I know she got put in there like 1900, and then no, she got put in 1905, and then she got out in like 1909 because the asylum was over. It was
Over,
too many patients.
yeah,
Yeah, there was too many patients, so they let her go, and she wasn't.
there. Like,
Oh, they're in the head, but they let her go, and they said when they let her go, the insane asylum said that she didn't say where she was going or anything, and then that's the last anybody seen of her was the day she left the insane asylum.
ooh.
Well, then when she got out, that's when all these kids started coming up missing and stuff. That's what I mean. It's kind of
Ugh.
urban legend, but it's kind of funny all that started happening when she got out. And then one time, oh yeah, and then too, the sheriff. They found the sheriff with his eyes like stabbed out with a fork, and he had candy full in his pockets.
What the heck?
Yeah, and that was really true too. And then a farmer, he found a jar full of the rotten teeth and the candy wrappers.
Wow.
So it's kind of, there's stuff that's true in it and with some legend in it.
Who knows? Maybe
So-
she's a tooth fairy now.
That sounds like it might be. It was pretty cool. Yeah.
Ew. I don't like that. I mean, I like it, but it's like eerie.
Yeah, because you don't know how much. I mean, it could be true. It could, you don't know. I mean, you really don't.
Ew.
I mean, she did get in trouble for poisoning her, husband because
And
she
she got
accused
sent
him
away.
of killing her daughter. Well, then she got put in the insane asylum for it, and she wasn't all there still. They let her go anyway. And kids started coming up missing. They said, too, especially when you went back to the old house where they all lived. Because nobody lived there anymore. And they said she'd haunt them. The kids would come up missing if they got too close to the place. But yeah, all the kids started coming up missing, and the candy started coming up on the windowsills after she got released. But nobody seen her. Nobody could actually prove it.
See, okay, I bet you she was staying in her old house because you said if the kids came up close to
Yeah.
her, she went missing. That, or maybe she died after she got out and then she started doing it as a ghost.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they can't prove it. Did they say anything about like finding bodies or anything?
They had to find the bodies of the kids, some of them, but and that sheriff, he was in a field with forks in his eyes and his hand and his pockets full of candy. That's crazy.
That does leave you wondering.
Yeah, it just makes you wonder because it happened after she got out, but nobody seen her. No one had any hard evidence on her, so it's kind of hard to, say it was her.
Yeah. I like that one. It's just kind of like,
Yeah, and that's not far from here. That's over there around the Metroplex, Keller.
oh, that's fun.
Yeah, but yeah, if you remember that kind of story of the Tooth Fairy, kind of went like that.
Yeah.
But it didn't go with I can't remember how the story went, but she was taking kids too apparently or something. Because remember, you can look her in the face.
Yeah. Jeez. Ugh. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and go.
Go ahead, you little fart sniffer.
This one, I don't know if you guys technically call it the South, but this one's in Georgia.
Yes, honey, that's the South.
Okay, sorry. I wasn't for sure. Like, okay, I did go to high school and I did graduate, but like, I want to
She's not
be.
good on her geological.
Yeah, I'm not good with like
locations
history
yet.
and that stuff.
Yeah, and I'm a big history guy. I like history.
I haven't memorized the map like he has.
And it's not memorizing. I've seen that map since I was freaking, I don't know, 8, 9 years old, ever since I was a kid.
Okay. So this one's in Georgia, but okay, so I'm also, sorry to interrupt. I'm going to start like looking at other states too.
Well, that's fine. It's the stories told from the South.
Yeah. I'm going to look at like South, like
But
southern
didn't you
states.
kind of start doing that anyway at first? Look at
Shut
your
up.
first couple stories.
Well, because you do Texas stuff.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I'm trying to do like, to go out and see what kind of else is
Go
out there.
out and see what's in the world.
Okay. So I'm doing the Windsor
Windsor.
Hotel. Hotel. I'm trying to say. it.
Windsor Hotel.
Okay, Windsor Hotel.
Hotel.
And it's in Amherst or something like that, Georgia. I'm not totally sure how to pronounce it. And it's so-called a historic hotel. And it was built in 1892, and it was built to attract winter visitors from the north. So it wasn't really built to just be a hotel. It was just built to be like
Yeah.
for investors and stuff like that. So originally it was 100-room, 5-story Victorian masterpiece,
Masterpiece Theater.
and there was really nice turret balconies and towers, and it was a 3-stone. It had a 3-stone open a lobby. So it was like
lobby.
It was really, really nice.
It was nice in the lobby. I really liked the lobby.
And it used to occupy an entire city block.
Oh my God.
So it was huge.
That's a huge bitch.
And it also had a lot of like balls and celebrations too. You know, considering it was like back in I could probably want to say 1892. And
1892.
balls were a thing back then.
Big dances. Big
So
dances.
the hotel closed its doors in 1972, and it ran 80 years of operation. So they closed, and then they remodeled it, and it opened in 1991, and the remodel took $6.5 million. So,
Dang, they could remodel my house for that.
I know.
Jesus. That'd be nice. That'd be some nice, good upgrades right there.
Yeah.
6.6 million.
So, and then in 2010, the hotel went under another renovation, and it was basically just to update the hotel with like modern technology and stuff like that. So, and then on June 15th, 2010, it reopened with 53 rooms. So if you were listening at first, it had 100 rooms. Now it has 53 rooms. So they deducted it by a lot.
Why they deduct it? I guess they just wasn't getting the
Well,
business.
That and
Couldn't
they
keep-
did
sorry.
occupy a huge city block. Like a lot. Like it
Oh,
occupied
they
a whole
needed
city
the
block.
spice.
So they, as the as the world
That's
got
strange.
bigger,
I've
they
never
did.
heard of people. I've heard of people tearing buildings down when they're not occupied. But I ain't heard of people tearing them down just.
Yeah, it didn't really say why, but I'm guessing that's why.
Yeah.
But it has
They
like
probably
really,
needed the city needed the space, and
Yeah.
two, they probably wouldn't making any money if they was taking rooms away.
yeah. And they have really nice suites, and every room is
Are they
designed.
sweet?
Every room is designed differently. Like not one room is the same. So I
See,
thought
that's
that
cool.
was pretty cool.
Sorry, Rocco.
So,
Got our studio dog in the studio with us today.
yeah, we have
Rocco.
we have 3 dogs.
That's why Lexi ran to the door because one was out crying while we're trying to record.
Yeah, our dogs are.
Big
Yeah.
spolt asses.
And so the hotel went under like 2-3 renovations, and renovations are not good for ghosts. So
Ooh, no, it stirs
it
stuff up.
stirs it up. So considering the ghost stuff I'm about to say, that kind of explains it. But in the 1900s, there was a little girl and her mom who lived at the hotel as head housekeeper. And they were apparently murdered in their room or somewhere in the hotel.
Yeah.
And they were
Find out which room it is. That's where we'll stay the night.
they were pushed down the elevator well. Because you know how like the elevators were back then.
Yeah.
It was,
It wasn't like doors like they have now. It's just like a cage.
Yeah, like a
gate.
cage thing. So that happened.
That sucked.
Yeah, it didn't say who murdered them or why or what, but so on to like the more ghost stuff and sightings and the feelings you can have there. So you can see a reflection of a woman with a long black gown in the mirror of the hall of the 3rd floor. And then pots and pans fly and like get thrown and stuff or are misplaced in the kitchen.
Oh my God. That's one pissed off cook.
Yeah. And then the radio is really bad about turning off and on by itself. So, there apparently is a doorman that lives there because he worked at the hotel for at least 40 years.
Wow.
So it's like his home.
That's an old doorman.
Those aren't really a thing anymore.
Nah, they don't have bellhops and all that anymore.
But
That's what I believe. I know my Uncle Larry did, and I believe our dad was a bellhop. Up at the Baker Hotel, man, when it was booming, he said he loved working on weekends because he could make a killing in tips. Them big wigs would come in and throw that money.
you'll like this one. Famous gangsters stayed there.
Oh, yeah? Who?
It didn't say who. That's one thing I couldn't figure out who, but
Well,
it
them
said like
son of a
some of the most
bitches.
famous ones stayed there, and they spent nights at the bridal suites. And they had bodyguards at the bottom of the stairs because they didn't want people going up
Yeah.
there. You know, because they were,
They were mobsters.
yeah.
My kinds of people.
And the lights turn off and on by themselves.
Wow.
But that's like pretty much it. Nothing like too serious, except for like the pots and pans trying to kill everybody. But
Clanging them around, clangity clang clang.
so,
So you've done 2 stories?
yep.
I don't know if mine's going to last a whole nother 30 minutes. You might have to scramble something up.
Or this one could just be really, really short.
Well, if we can at least make it 45.
I don't have any of the stories ready.
Well, we got 28 minutes right there.
Which, okay, try to exaggerate yours.
Okay. My second story is... Mr. Lansky, the ghost of 281. Well, Highway 281. Okay, the story starts out a man in Johnson City named Mr. Lasky. His first name was lost. They can't find anything on his first name, but his name was last name was Lansky. Well, Mr. Lansky took a large knife one afternoon and started carving up his family. And nobody ever knew why. He never did say why or anything. Well, he carved up his family. He carved up half of his family before he was caught. So he already, he whacked half of his family before he even got caught. Well, okay. Well, then back then, this happened in the, probably late 1800s. But back then, if let's say if somebody was in prison, in jail or something at the local, jail, the town would get together and they'd have them call it lynch mob, and they'd get together and get the guy that they didn't want to wait for the the court to hurry it up and prosecute him and all that stuff, because they would just go and they'd go ahead and hang him or kill you or whatever. If the lynch mob came and got you, your ass was definitely dead, basically. Well, that's what happened to this guy. He carved up half of his family, and they didn't. Well, first off, that's how that happened in Johnson City. He went to Blanco, where the capital of not the capital, where the courthouse was.
Oh, I was like, what
the
are you
county
trying
courthouse, where the county courthouse was in Blanco, and that's where he was jailed. Well, people from Johnson City came over that night in a wagon, and the rest of them was on horses, and went to the jail, got him, drove him, and they went halfway between Blanco and Johnson City, so they was about 100 yards west of 281 now, and they strung him up and all that, got him, and he was standing up on the wagon. They had the noose ready and all that, and then they look at him and they go, "Well, son, you got any last words?" And he goes, "Well, if you let me go and give me a knife and let me go back to Johnson City and finish what I started, I don't give a damn what y'all do to me." And they were like, so they, made the horses pull the wagon, and well, that killed him. Well, they screwed up. The rope was a little too long. It was too long. His feet were like barely kind of hitting the road a little. And then the rope they used, it wasn't one of the good noose kind, and it was cutting his throat too on top of that. And they left him there, and he was just, for like an hour. And then
it wasn't like 30 seconds.
Yeah, no one thought to just shoot him in the head and get it over with. They just let him suffer. Well, I guess they were that pissed at him. But, he did carve his family up.
Yeah, true.
Well, he said that, and he flopped around. And then the sheriff the next day came down, and that's where, he found him still hanging, and his neck was all bloody. And he gets him, takes him back to Johnson City, and his own family didn't even claim him. They basically took him to the funeral home, and I think they burned him.
Wow.
Yeah, his own freaking family, man.
Well,
they never did say
family though.
Well, they never did say why he carved his family up and just snapped. But he snapped and got a knife and just started killing his freaking family.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then have the balls to sit there and be like, "Yeah, just give me a knife, and I'll go finish the job, and you can do whatever you want with me after that." That's cray.
So does he just apparently just sit? He just.
Oh, that's another thing. The ghost. He. That's what they're saying. He tries to hitchhike a ride back to Johnson City. That's what he's trying to do.
Finish.
Yeah. Well, he's still stuck in that loop in his head.
Yeah.
He don't know he's dead, so he's still reliving it. And I was doing a little research on it, and there's been, ghost signs of his ghost apparently, but truckers, they hate going down that stretch part of 281 at night.
Oh, well, I can imagine. Oh, I've been down that road.
Me too. I used to go up and down that road a lot too.
I had to go down there to go to Houston.
Yeah. Yeah, it's eerie.
Ew.
Yeah, because the truck drivers hate it because they say they always see a ghost or see something.
Well, I can imagine, Oh, okay. Well, what do you think? We should do another story?
Yeah, do one more.
Okay. Sorry, guys. We're still trying to figure this out.
Yeah, we'll get our pattern going better.
Yeah. Okay, well, since, I didn't have, time to, it's not fully finished on this one.
When she does research, she's researched so much stuff, so
yeah. I couldn't sleep for, 2 nights, so I have, 700 stories, but not all of them have everything I need to finish, doing it. But this one hotel, I know a lot about it, and I have the history on it, and I know pretty much on the ghost stuff, so I think we're good. So this is the Cecil Hotel in downtown California, and I consider that a southern state. It's kind of in the middle.
Here we go with California again.
Is it not a southern state?
Kinda, yes, no.
It's like right in the middle to me.
Yeah.
Kind of it is, but like.
But
anyway,
it's long, though, too.
yeah. I said downtown California. It's downtown LA, California. But, so, the Cecil Hotel, if you guys have watched American Horror Story, it is based off the Hotel Drake.
That was the one with Gaga in it, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Season
okay.
5.
Yes.
The hotel season.
Yeah.
I think the hotel is called Hotel Drake.
And see, I like the American Horror Story series because every season they come out, whatever they're
It's, like,
talking
based
about,
off of stuff.
it's based off of true events. That's what I love about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Anyway, I'm pretty sure the hotel is called like Drake Hotel or something like that. I could be wrong, but the actual hotel is Cecil Hotel. That's where they shot it and everything.
Oh my gosh.
So the ghost and everything like that is like 100% true. And Richard Ramirez being there, that's 100% true. And the serial killers being there, that's 100% true. Like, so.
I mean, the serial killers like all stay the night there and
Yeah.
shit?
Well, like not on like Hallows Eve and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
not
but
like it was in the series. I mean, I'm pretty sure they weren't just, but I mean, at different times through their life, they stayed there.
Yeah. Okay,
Wow.
so it opened up in 1927, and then not even like 10 years open. So it opened in 1927, and then since 1931, it gained reputations for suicides and other violent deaths.
Wow.
So it wasn't even open for like 10 years. And
it already had the reputation of being the suicide hotel.
Yeah. So I don't know. It didn't really say like about the land or anything, but like I'm guessing when they built the hotel, it might have been built on bad land, or the people there are just really, really cursed.
Never know. Might
Yeah.
have been.
Well, it didn't help with everyone dying in the hotel. The hotel's pretty much like
Yeah.
literally a ghost town. There was a woman that was staying at the hotel with her husband. She woke up one night having really, really bad stomach pains. So she went to the bathroom thinking she just had to like throw up or go poop. So she went to the bathroom and she gave birth to a baby.
Ah.
She didn't even know she was pregnant.
And she was at the hospital. I mean, she was there at the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Well, so she thought
that was the devil baby. Remember the little baby in the
yeah,
Gaga's baby?
yeah.
That was the Satan baby.
So she thought the baby was dead. So, you know, she just thinks, okay, I'm going to throw it out the window. So she chunks it out the window.
Oh my god.
And I guess someone saw her something because she got caught. And the court was like, okay, well, or the court or whatever at the time was like, okay, well, you're not guilty, but you're going to an insane asylum. So I guess she wasn't guilty because they thought she was crazy.
Yeah, but I guess they took a look at the kid and was like, she ain't lying.
Yeah.
The kid's nasty.
I don't know. I guess I honestly don't know.
He's got boogers
That
hanging.
or she had like a miscarriage,
Yeah.
and so she had literally delivered the baby
Wow.
to get rid of it. So she went to a psychiatric hospital to,
Yeah, to deal with it.
yeah, because that was her punishment for, doing that to the baby. So that is one of the many things that happened.
That's crazy.
Another thing that happened was a woman got into an argument with her husband, fiance, whatever, and she jumped from a window, but she landed on a man that was walking by.
What the hell?
So 2 people died in a suicide.
That's effed up.
And they thought that they were that they were in a suicide pact, but then they discovered that one of them had shoes, and they kind of figured that if one were to jump out the window, like shoes and everything would kind of fly off.
Yeah.
So then they figured that she
Oh my
jumped and
God.
landed on a guy.
Man, that poor guy. That'd be my luck right there. I'd be like freaking walking down the street being late for work. Oh my god, I'm late. I'm late. I'm late.
And then a body comes flying out of nowhere, yeah. So, at least between, like, within these stories, I read that there was at least, like, 16 different murders, suicides, and unexplained paranormal, like,
That's
stuff
crazy.
that happened.
Maybe we should.
I really want to go to it.
Maybe we should go there and spend the night and get in one of the motels. And we can, get to one of the rooms. We could do a podcast from there too.
Yes.
That'd be a cool. That'd be a cool series for a podcast. Just going to traveling to these places that are haunted and staying the night
Yeah, I know.
and doing a podcast.
I
That'd be
know.
amazing.
Awesome. So, and it's home to America's most notorious serial killers.
Cereal? Oh, what kind of cereal did you like? And how much cereal did he kill?
I'm going to hit you. So, in 1930s alone, there was at least 6 reported suicides. I don't know why why it was like that, but...
Jeez.
And then this one guy, was shaving, and then he just was like, okay, I'm gonna die. So then he slit his throat with a razor,
What the hell?
and then he jumped, and then another guy jumped from a building.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
I got done shaving. I'm gonna go ahead and slit my throat. See you later, guys.
Yeah. Well, and then okay, so I don't have like a lot on the serial killers because I didn't really like list all the serial killers staying there, but one of the most famous ones was Richard Ramirez, better known as the Night Stalker,
The Night Stalker.
And
Or the
he
Hillside
was-
Strangler.
and he was in the
Yeah.
series or the
Oh,
American
yeah.
Horror Story. So he
He
lived.
was even the one last season with the fucking can.
I know, and so he lived in a room that was on the very top floor of, the Cecile Hotel during his killing spree. So
Wow.
after each killing, he would take his bloody clothes, throw them into the dumpster outside, and either walk into the hotel completely naked or in his underwear, and no one questioned anything. They were just like, "Oh, that's normal."
Oh, he's a nut job. Just
Yeah.
let him walk around naked.
They were like,
or-
"That's normal, Richard. It's okay." Like no
That's-
one.
That's ridiculous. Wow.
Yeah. And then in 1991, a guy named Jack Unterweger, he's an Australian killer. He is an Australian serial killer.
Oh,
Don't know how he ended up here, but he lived at the hotel for quite some time.
wow.
And then a woman named Black Delilah stayed a night at the hotel the day before she was murdered.
Man.
Yeah. And then another woman was found dead in the hotel room. The room had been ransacked, and she had been raped and stabbed to death and beat.
Jesus Christ, man. I don't know if I want to do a podcast there.
So, like,
We might die. Jesus Christ. All we wanted to do was a podcast.
the last suicide was in 2015.
Jesus.
And it's a 90-year-old history. So, okay, this one last story about somebody was like the most crazy one I've ever heard, and also I don't know what happened. Like no one knows. It's like one of the most unsolved cases in this. So this girl's name was Ellis Liam. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, I feel bad. But so she was found dead inside the water tank at the hotel. So like the water tanks, or this was like recently. This is like the past 5-6 years.
Yeah.
So the water tanks are on the roof, the very top of the hotel, and they're extremely hard to get to. Like you have to use ladders, and they're very narrow. Like there's no way one single human could get up there.
That's crazy.
So she was found dead inside the water tank of the hotel and naked, and her body looked like it had been raped and messed with and stuff like that.
It was in the water tank, the up top on the roof, right?
Yeah, like that they shower with and drink with.
Yes.
Well, and no one knew that she was up there. She just knew that she was missing for 3 weeks.
Ah.
So guests reported that the water pressure was bad. That it was kind of like mud, like brownish and stuff like that when
Yeah,
they turned it on,
stanky.
and it was stinky and it tasted gross. So the people went up there. They found the body,
Oh.
and I mean they offered refunds and everything, but the damage had already been done.
Ugh.
So
I bathed in blood.
yeah,
Vampires.
it was ruled as an accidental drowning, but like there's no way you could have gotten up there
Yeah.
by yourself.
I was just on the water closet and I fell in up there.
Especially since she was naked and stuff like that. So people either
I like to go
think-
exploring naked. I do that all the time, especially when I'm ghost hunting. I just like to do that naked.
people think that it was a murder or a paranormal thing, but like there's a surveillance in the elevator that she was. It looked like she was like playing hide and seek with something, or like doing something and like hiding from somebody or running from somebody.
That's crazy. Ain't no telling, man, in that old fucking place.
Yeah, so who knows? Richard Ramirez might have been trying to kill her or something. Like I don't I don't know. Like,
That's weird.
so that's all the ghost stuff. Not ghost stuff, the history. There's not really that like much ghost stuff that I didn't find yet, because that story is not really finished. But as you can imagine, there
Yeah.
you feel weird in the hotel, obviously, because I mean, like, the history. And then, I mean, I'm not sure if doors shut and this and that, but I mean, guessing by the murders,
Yeah.
I'm guessing that stuff happens. Guessing like the spirits linger there and everything, especially because most of these like unsolved, like the murders. No one knows how they did.
That's freaking crazy. How do you not, I mean, someone's dead in a motel. How do you, I mean, I don't know. It's really
So,
weird.
yeah.
Creepy stuff, man. Creepy stuff. And then there's just some places like that, man. There's just some places, or there's some hotels where nothing happens, but then there's some that's just Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's like a paranormal hotspot.
Yeah. You know, it's just nuts. I've seen houses like that too. That's just, God dang, it don't matter who lives there.
Mm-hmm.
It's cursed.
No, it's like that house on Haunted Hill. It went through like a lot of owners.
Yeah.
And my cousin's friend lived there. And like, now then they just ended up there like, forget it. And they just turned it into something people could go in there and explore.
Yeah. It's crazy.
But
Well, I hope you guys had fun today. I know we sure did. And
yeah, sorry for like the short thing. Sorry, we
Yeah.
like I said,
We're
we have
gonna-
a busy weekend, and
yeah, we're gonna do a live podcast, and Lexi's gonna be there to pitch in with us.
yeah, we're going to my aunt's
Yeah,
tomorrow.
we
So
got
gotta get
another.
stuff ready for
I've
that.
got another podcast, Borderline Texas Trash, and we're gonna do a little bit of that and have Lexi as one of our guests, and it's
We'll put
gonna
it on
be
here,
fun.
too,
And then, like
probably.
for Halloween too, guys, that's what we're gonna do for Halloween. We're gonna do a podcast from my sister's because we have a Halloween party. Then I figure we can tell some spooky stories or something.
Yeah, tomorrow's our test run, so
Oh yeah. But
But-
y'all come check us out. Go to we got an email like she said. It's ghost stories told from the south at gmail.com.
yes.
Leave us something back. Let us know anything. And y'all keep listening to us. And we're going to be dropping these every Monday. So every Monday it'd be a new episode. So
Mhm.
get used
Just
to it.
let us know what you like, and like I said, whatever stories or whatever places are near you, just feel to email them or like comment or something. Just like
Say
drop 'em.
something. What's up?
So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.
Bye-bye. Have fun, boys and girls. Now be safe and don't be telling too many scary stories, okay? Bye.
Bye.